Hello and welcome to the Finance Quarter. I'm Andrew Robertson. Meetings can be the bane of a business person's life. They can take up lots of time and not achieve anything at all. A man who's been turning his mind to that problem for many years now is management consultant Dr. Ken Hudson. We've spoken to Ken Hudson on the program before, and his latest thinking on meetings is what's known as the Blitz. Ken, last time we spoke, you felt that most meetings were a waste of time and should be avoided. It seems like you've gone back to the idea of meetings, but just doing them smarter.
That's right. I think there's lots of great social benefits of meetings, and people, even in our research, still like to go with them, paradoxically, even though they didn't work. So what we've tried to do is actually reinvent them rather than sort of incrementally improve them, just make them bigger and stronger and faster.
So what is the Blitz, and what's in the Blitz that allows the mistakes of traditional meetings to be avoided?
Well, the Blitz is a short, sharp, 15 minutes, 2 to 6 people, only focuses on one challenge. Anyone can call the Blitz on any time, and it's dominated by or run by a Blitz leader. It could be anyone in the organisation who has a single challenge. So as opposed to a meeting which is an hour, a Blitz is just 15 minutes, and it's more to do with the day-to-day. So I'm not saying don't get rid of meetings, but what I am saying is that the Blitz idea can complement what exists at the moment.
In very brief and simple terms, how does a typical Blitz meeting work?
So a typical Blitz meeting is someone has a challenge or a problem or an issue, opportunity, and they go literally, I'd like to Blitz it. So they could send out a meeting request, or they could do it even informally and just wander around and say, who's interested in blitzing this topic with me? So it could be with the existing team or with some volunteers. Once they feel that they've got enough people, from 2 to 6, they actually say, right, okay, well, let's blitz it. I want to blitz it at 3 o'clock or in the next half hour. And then they go through a 5-step process, which is start, build, connect, evaluate, and then they finish with an action.
So if you have an issue that is clearly going to take longer than 15 minutes, you're still advocating the traditional sit round the boardroom table type meeting?
Yes, absolutely. So what happens is that actually, paradoxically, I think it makes meetings more effective because it frees meetings up to concentrate on the more strategic, high priority items, and the day-to-day stuff, which have to be solved quickly, can be blitzed.
What type of organisations is the Blitz best suited to?
Well, we've tried it. We've run pilot programs across retail, a logistics company, international hotel. It's not industry specific, I wouldn't say. I'd say in a sort of fast-moving environment, which increasingly most companies are, Blitz is ideal because if you've got all the time in the world, maybe you want to take all the time in the world, but if you don't and you want to resolve things quickly, particularly customer-facing organisations where, increasingly customers are saying, hey, can you help me, and I want a solution right now.
We have a lot of small business viewers on this program, so if you do run a small business, is the Blitz for you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So what I'd say is the Blitz is from 2 to 6 people. So it's sometimes you just have a problem and you just go, hey, look, who's got 15 minutes, who's interested in this, and I only need a few more people and let's Blitz it. So rather than call a formal meeting and trying to find a meeting room or wait round, you just say, why don't we Blitz it? So what I'm trying to do is create a new business vernacular. So instead of saying automatically going, let's meet, you go, why don't we Blitz it?
What do you see as the benefits for a business from the Blitz?
I think the benefits of Blitz are that it's more efficient in the group work, and increasingly more and more work is done in groups and teams. So it's more efficient, people can be more productive. Because it's done so quickly and we're not filtering, it can be more creative. And the other big benefit is actually time spent in formal meetings, we've found from our research, is actually decreasing.
Ken Hudson, thank you very much for those thoughts.
My pleasure.
Well, as you'd expect from the man who invented the Blitz, Ken Hudson speaks very highly of it. But what do others think? Marty LePage is the chief executive of advertising agency Ursa Clemenger, which is now using the Blitz to try to lift the performance of its meetings. Marty, where did Ursa Clemenger feel that its meetings here weren't living up to expectations?
I think in terms of expectations, our clients and our staff would come into a meeting, a brainstorm session, probably take anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, where you set a task and at the end of that you hope to have an outcome from it. And I found that most of the time we weren't getting the outcomes we need. There was probably a lot of goodwill and people sitting around and having a chat and trying to put things up on boards and talking about ideas, but not necessarily anything really meaty was being captured.
So what attracted you to the Blitz?
It's really honed, it's really short and sharp. You have staff that feel that they can really get involved very quickly. 15 minutes isn't really much of an impact on anyone's day necessarily. You feel like you can come in and join a Blitz very quickly, get what you need out of it and move along. And very energising too, very energising for staff, and feel like they're participating. Not all staff or people who are involved in sort of brainstorm sessions often have a voice, because you find there's very dominant members, particularly in creative industries, and that's great. You need dominant people, but those that are possibly a little shyer or probably think in a different way don't get their voice heard.
So the structure of the Blitz allows everybody's voice to be heard?
There'll always be people that will push their ideas forward, but the way this is structured, that everyone gets an opportunity to put their ideas down first, so it allows them to think about it. So I think it caters for all different types of personalities.
Because a Blitz is only 15 minutes, do you find people come better prepared with their ideas more clearly thought out, definitely looking for a result rather than this open-ended meeting that could go on forever?
That's exactly right. And it's kind of, when you get given a deadline or an end point that you know you've got to get there, it's kind of like training. You know, most brainstorms, people go in and they sort of sit around and you think, and someone's talking a lot over there, and you can drift off. You can actually hide sometimes in brainstorms. Where there's nowhere to hide, you know you have to be. It's kind of like being an athlete. You've got to be on your game and think quickly. And it's once you start thinking quickly, it's energising.
You're only in business to make money. How will the Blitz help your bottom line?
Look, we're all about ideas in this agency, and our clients come to us because they want creativity and big ideas for their business. The more we can tap into that intellectual property that's housed within our staff, and the quicker we can get them together to actually find out these ideas, the better it is for us and our clients.
What don't you like about the Blitz? Where do you see its weaknesses are?
I haven't found the weaknesses yet. I think potentially there is always this danger that dominant people will take over the meeting, and I'm not sure as yet whether that will be the case with Blitz. But so far, I've seen all our staff, every time we've had a Blitz session, I feel there's a lift in the energy in the agency. And I don't normally see that when people walk out of brainstorm sessions. Normally I see them walk out and they're all sort of a bit slumped and tired, and all they're thinking of is, what am I, going to go and get a cup of coffee now? Whereas everyone usually walks out of a Blitz smiling and sort of joking around, and there's a whole positive energy, which I love.
Marty LePage, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.